Today I am giving the Bloxburg Starter Home a much needed glow up, going from boring to modern. If you're new here, hi, my name is Chris and I upload every Wednesday and Friday. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any uploads. Without further ado, let's get straight into the video. But first, I wanted to give a tour of what it looked like. Right as we enter, we have the dining room, the living room, the kitchen, a really hideous bathroom. This looks like a prison bathroom, and the bedroom. House outside though, yeah, this needs a lot of work. Okay, so getting straight into build mode, I'm not gonna mess with the walls. Since this is a renovation, we only want to mess with the furniture, the doors, and the windows. The first thing I want to do is put an exterior and put a roof. Voiceover here, I changed the roof right at the end of the video, so the roof you're about to see, it's not the final one. Something like this is fine. Then after that, we want to get to the coloring of the outside, to which I want to do this color. To which I want to do this color right here. Don't forget the roof. Okay, so now that we got that, this is already looking very modern. I want to put the doors and the windows. For the doors, I still haven't decided what door I actually want. I think I want to end up going with a tall door because the tall doors, you see how it looks good with the tall roof. And then I also want to put pillars all around the house. That's going to end up doing is that it's going to end up defining the house just a tiny bit. See, we want to make it something like this, and I think this is already looking kind of homey. Trust me, I kind of was already crashing out over the fact that this layout is low-key kind of like a little bit hard to work with, but I think we're going on a good start. So for the windows, originally the house came with these windows, right? Kind of want to recreate these exact windows, but instead I want to recreate them with these modern ones. I don't like the ridges that these windows have, and I don't see any other windows that fit this house. What you want to end up doing is placing a structural on it and then just moving that structural down kind of like to align it to that. So then after the windows, we want to be adding a path to the door. We should make like a little garage, but at the same time, this is a renovation, not a build up. Make this concrete. Then after that, I want to do the gardening, but first we have to add like the little dirt. Oops. Then after that, I want to add the little gardening, so we have to make like the little dirt all around the house. I want to make the dirt this color right here, and then we just want to be adding bushes and like little plants and stuff. Add like these. I don't know what these are, but I love these. I'm trying to make the entrance look presentable and nice. I also want to put like a little bird feeder and a little bird house. If I can find out where the bird house is, I can never find stuff. This might be like a little hit or miss, but in my opinion, I feel like gardening is like the hardest thing to do in Bloxburg besides roofing. It's like, how do you know where to place bushes and stuff like that? It's just like really complicated for me. Okay, so I worked on the garden and this is what I have so far. I think I'm gonna change the color of the house, but I ended up adding this extension to the backyard. I added like a little backyard. I want to change it to this color right here. I also want to start changing the door color, and I think I'm gonna change it to black. So I think the backyard's gonna end up being like this, and I might just add some chairs. I gotta also add lights and stuff. The lights, I don't know which one I'm gonna do. What I was also gonna do is that I was gonna add basic shade and add them like around the roof trim as lights. So what we want to end up doing is that we want to like place these and then put lights on them, and then you just flip them and put them on the roof. What this does is that this has like the glowing light effect, and I really like it instead of like the regular circular light. Last finishing touches we want to do, I want to add like a little doorbell and then just like a little driveway for the car. Now making it to inside, I want to start with the coloring. I'm just gonna go with the gray color, but like a little bit darker. Or maybe, you know what, let's act a little different and then let's do like a little tile and then let's darken that a little bit. With the kitchen, we're gonna put the stove in the middle and then the fridge on the side here. I want to paint these marble. For the cabinets, I'm gonna do these cabinets and then color them the same. Something like this. Okay, I don't know why, but something seems off and I don't know what it is, and I'm trying to figure it out. Okay, so I ended up adding this lighting right here. I ended up changing the kitchen a little bit. I changed the hood and I also ended up putting a new stove, and yes, it is the most expensive stove. For the dining room lights, I wanted to add this chandelier right here, so then put like a little cute dining table right there. For the entrance, I wanted to end up putting this right here, and then for the actual living room, I'm gonna put this ceiling fan right here. Completely forgot that these were bedrooms and this was a bathroom. We need to also add doors. I just want to keep adding the frosted doors and then just paint them the same color as the front door. Curtains are gonna be the dual curtains and they're gonna be the longer ones. I might actually change this window. Let's change them into this longer window. So with the table, I wanted to do a round table like this one, and then just paint it with these chairs and then just paint it smooth white. Then these legs right here, we're gonna paint them, I think, black, and this is just gonna be like a medium stone gray. And then we want to add like the table decorations. I think for the table decorations, what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna add a plant, like a little generic plant. And I think that's it for the dining room. For the entrance, we're just gonna keep it simple and then add like a little carpet. Kind of want to add a mirror right here, and I don't know why. I'm trying to decide what to make the couches. Honestly, I think something like this works, and you can still get through. Painted this color, but I also want to change the pillows of these sofas because these are really ugly. Maybe let's color this whole sofa white instead. And I think this is good for our sofas. Now, I want to add a little coffee table, and I think I'm going to do a custom coffee table and then add a TV. And then for the decorations, I'm just going to add plants. Guys, if you never know what to put, just put plants. That's literally the best decoration ever. I'm going to put roses on the actual dining table. I think that looks super cute. And then just add like a little plant right here and then lower the tone. We can make the carpets really big. I did not know that. And then we can finally get started with the TV. And actually, for nostalgia, I kind of want to add a bookshelf on this wall because back then there was a bookshelf on the wall. Let's add this simple bookshelf right here. And then let's paint it marble. Let's paint it like a dark marble to add some contrast. For the TV, I want to add this table right here and then paint it the same thing that we did for the coffee table. I want to paint it this wood. I just know this starter house is going to be really expensive, but honestly, I think new players deserve a really luxurious starter house. We'll just put this tiny TV right here. This is such a cozy living room. For the decorations, I'm just going to keep adding plants. And I think this plant just alone here is fine too. And I think honestly, this is really good for the living room and the dining room. Now for the kitchen, we want to start putting more appliances in the kitchen. Let's add a little Stanley because I think these are super cute. Since this is our little to-go counter, I'm going to put it on the edge. This microwave is like badly placed. I don't know where to place it. I think I'll place it right here and then put the Stanley cup on top. I also remember saying that I also wanted to add the basic shape light under the cabinets. So on top of that, I also wanted to add like these lights inside the cabinets. Before then, I wanted to add also this chandelier right here in the middle. I think that suits it best. And then just extend it a little bit. I think this is looking so good. I'm actually really happy with the result right now. Honestly, I think that this is giving like very much like New York apartment vibes. Maybe my next build idea should be building a New York apartment, but I don't know. Okay, so now that the lights are done, I wanted to put stuff inside the cabinets like glass. And then now we have a fully functioning, really cute kitchen. Oh, wait, actually, let's add a carpet. Actually, I think there might be too many carpets, so I might not add this carpet. Actually, no, that's perfect. Okay, after that, let's move on to the little details like the light switches and the outlets. Add an outlet right here. We also want to add some by the kitchen, so we'll add one right here. Since this is pretty dark over here, I want to add a lamp. Let's lower down those tones. And this is the result for the main area. I think this looks super great. For the bathroom, we want to be adding the same trim. I want to paint it the same gray that we used. For the showers, I want to use the pre-built showers, but you'll see what I'm going to do. I don't think this one looks super bad. For the sink, I always end up going with the modern bowl sink. For the lighting, we'll use the basic shape lighting that we used. And then obviously this is too dark, so I'm going to be adding more lights on top of that. I also realized that we could add like a little window back here, honestly. Okay, this looks really good actually. For the mirror, I actually don't know what mirror I want to go with. I think we'll go with this oval mirror. Don't forget your deodorant, don't forget your toothpaste, don't forget your plunger, don't forget your toilet paper. So we'll add those. Okay, where's the actual shampoo? Okay, there we are. Actually, you know what? I have a little idea. Since it won't let me place it directly, I'm gonna add basic shapes on the walls. I cannot give these basic shapes a break, guys. They are literally lifesavers. Just to make this cute, I want to add a little plant right here. And I know this isn't realistic, but I know actually I do know some people that keep plants in their bathtubs for some reason. And I also want to add more basic shapes right here, like as shelves on top of the toilet. And tell me this isn't looking like a cute bathroom. I'm actually gonna change this background right here to a little bit darker, and then just add more decorations right on top of here. Probably add like toilet paper and then plants. I think something like this is good. And then don't forget to add like the little final touch, which is your electric toothbrush and your toothpaste. And then this is the final result for this really modern bathroom. In the bedroom, we want to have the same wall trim right here, and then I want to use the same exact colors that we used. Then the first thing we need to add is the bed. I want to add this bed because I don't want to cover the window. For the back of the bed, I want to add a basic shape and then extend it so I can make my own little nightstand. So just extend it all the way like that, but make sure it does not stick out of the house. For the bed, I always have trouble coloring the bed, but I think I'm gonna add different pillows instead. For the lights, like we said, well, I'm just gonna add these again. So we want to put one right here, right here. Let's be extra, and then like let's add this chandelier, but then we'll resize it to be tinier. Let's add the curtains because this room looks basic. For the longer windows, we want to add the longer curtains. For the lamps, I kind of wanted to do these right here. I might just change the material for the back. I might just change it to this because I wanted to contrast a little bit. Okay, now for the other things, I wanted to add a closet, but the closet is going to be different. The closet is going to be an open thing. So it's going to be like this, and then we extend it up. So the closet should look something like this. The last things we need to add are frames, plants, and maybe like dressers. Kind of want to salvage the things that were already in this starter house. So there was a dresser right here, and I don't know what was on this wall. I don't think there was anything on this. We can just add it like a painting right there or something. For the frames, I'm just going to add this one right here, and then I'm just going to keep it very simple. I'm going to paint this smooth white, and then let's just add like little plants. And I think we are pretty much done with this bedroom. I think it came along great. Now let's move on to the final touches for the outside. I know for the backyard I didn't add lights, so we'll add this one right here and then this one right here. And then maybe let's add like little chairs. Let's change up the pillows. Let's change them to like something dark, because usually outside furniture pillows are usually really dark. We're just gonna ignore the fact that these seats are like wood, guys. Okay, and this is the finished result for the house. Just so y'all know, this starter house ended up costing me $143,000. Okay, so coming straight into the entrance, we are faced with the dining room. We have our little to-go station right here. Coming over here, we have our dining room, and I'm honestly so in love with this main area. Like, tell me this kitchen isn't just beautiful. Coming in here, we have the bedroom with its amazing closet, and then coming in here, we have our very modern bathroom. Coming back to an addition of the house, we have the backyard, which the backyard, you could be basically adding a pool or whatever, but I just basically decided to be basic and add seats. I'm actually really happy with this starter house. Honestly, I think this house was a complete success and I'm really happy with it. But anyways, that's all I have for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. As always, have a good day or night. Peace.